And as a storyteller and a writer, it's my job, as I said earlier, to engage my tribe, to take them on the journey, one they wish to go on, an exciting journey, allowing my readers or audience to immerse themselves in my world. Now, in writing, that could be intrigue, it could be adventure, it could be sadness, but it's always sprinkled with some Irish humour, essential. Now, as a speaker, whether I'm behind a mic or I'm standing in front of a camera, or stepping onto a stage, my role and my responsibility is to engage my audience, to allow them to listen, but not just listen, because listening and hearing are two different things. As I learned many, many years ago when I worked in the restaurant business and setting up and running restaurants, chefs were wonderful at listening. Got it, yeah, no problem. But they didn't hear, they never heard. Many of them didn't hear. So it's important that my words resonate with my audience, whoever they are, that I touch people, that I speak from the heart, or when you read my words, you know I'm reaching out to you.
What kind of books do you write?
Okay, I started with poetry. 15 years ago, I became a full-time writer. I started with poetry. The poetry came fast and furious. I don't know where from. I was inspired. I could write a poem in 10 minutes, and within 3 days it was complete. And then I moved on to short stories, which a lot of writers, that's how they start. And I spent half my year in southwest Turkey, up a mountain, in a traditional Turkish village. And it was there that I was inspired to write my very first book, which was Tales from Turkey, which was a combination of short stories. My last book, it's fiction. My last book, we're talking fiction, contemporary fiction. But I heard last year I'm now writing a novel, and it's the first novel I've written that is it's actually based around Kent, with some connections to Yorkshire and to India. And it's called Uplit. This is the new buzzword according to the publishers. Uplit. What's Uplit? Uplit is, there's poignancy, there's some drama, but there are always HEAs, and HEAs are happy ever afters. So it's still fiction. And at the moment, the actual theme of this book, it started, I love to go walking. Walking, yoga, Pilates, swimming, that's me. That's my therapy, that's my healing, that's my inspiration. And I was out walking, it was the winter months, 2 years ago. And I would see this woman walking along the road with a very large dog. She had long, wild hair. She never said hello. But the dog also had long grey hair. And when I came back one morning, I thought, short story. But I knew as I was writing the short story, at that time I called it Days in Our Street. But I knew as I was writing that short story, it was actually the foundation and the makings of the novel. And that's what has become the novel. So I'm in the throes. I have actually written the first draft. The first 20 chapters are with my editor. And we'll take it from there. We'll see what happens.
Do you think words can be just as damaging as they are beneficial?
Yes. That's why I said words can crush us. Words can crush us if we allow it. I knew you were listening. Words can crush us. We need to be aware of what, you ask someone, how are you today? They'll say, okay. Or they'll say, not bad. What does that mean, not bad? Not bad means, it must be very good. Flip it. And that's why I was saying earlier, you can flip the language we use. A lot of people, there's a lot of noise out there, you know, and yes, we live in a digital era, and you're living immersed in it much more so than I am. That noise. I'm talking these thoughts that we allow and how we communicate. We just need to be really discerning how we choose our words. It's a little bit like perfection. Now, perfect. There's a word. In my learned experience and years, there's no such thing. If we're striving for perfection, it's way up there somewhere. What is perfect? It's way up there. So we're setting the bar so high. And then when we don't reach it, we maybe beat up on ourselves. We sabotage ourselves. And we feel we failed. We set the bar so high. In my experience, why not just be your best? Just be your best. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. Because I know, I always strive for perfection, and we hear that word. It's a little bit like the word success. Success means different things to different people. Success isn't always about salary, the house, the car, the yacht, the private jet. It's not about that. Not for everyone. For me, just to give you an example, success, it might be the university that since the age of 10 you've wanted to be accepted into, and you become accepted. Or the opportunity to give back to your community, that's your success. Or to find a group of friends that really get you, that really are tuned into you, who support you again unconditionally. That could be your success. For me, my success is definitely my ability eventually to be able to turn my life around. For 17 years I lived in a very, I called it, I was like the vintage butterfly. I was in that cocoon, refusing to come out. As Mr. Hargreaves mentioned earlier, I was challenged with major health issues, really major health issues. I still live with them today, but it doesn't sit here. By stepping back and realizing that I needed to change my life dramatically, because the old life just wasn't working, I allowed myself the opportunity to become that full-time writer, that storyteller, that blogger, that speaker. Well, first of all, there's no doubt about I am living the dream. You know, for 35 years, since I was a young girl, I was a storyteller in my family. And for 35 years, that was my dream. But I allowed my various careers, to push all that creativity to the back burner. Long term, I want to continue writing. For example, at the moment there's a possibility with this novel that it will be first published in the States. I want to take my talks, because obviously I do different theme talks, to the States, but to carry on writing. I cannot imagine a day that I wouldn't be writing. So that's the plan, and each year we sit down and we work out a strategy of where we are and where we're going. And under the umbrella of what I was just talking about as a creative, that's what I just want to continue to pursue, because each of them, there's a thread and a weave to them. William Wordsworth once said, education should not be the filling of a pail. Education should be the lighting of a fire. Powerful words. So I would like to leave you with, continue to use your voices. Use the power of your words. Use them well. Support those around you. Show kindness to yourselves and to each other. Encourage all of those things. Encourage each other. And finally, keep that fire of doing what you love, what you feel passionate about. Keep that fire burning brightly. Thank you. It's been a privilege. Thank you.